D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read them, make up your own opinion, or you can just listen to this video where I break it down for you and, and go about your way. I just want to say 2 things before I get started. The first one is that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine always get pushed to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. The second thing I want to just say is I'm selling merch now. Check this out. Is now a clothing brand that designs unique streetwear with a geek/nerd attitude. Some of the core values of Geekwood is to see the geekdom for how amazing it is, which is something I've always encouraged on this channel. Here's a look at my latest shirt that was designed by artist Patrick Walters, with my favorite design being me as a cartoon. So if you like what you see, go ahead and click on the link in the description down below. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. All right, you guys, go ahead over there and check that stuff out and buy something if you want to. It really helps me out. All right, now that we got all that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started? So for my first story this week, it looks like Fantastic Beasts 3 has a name or a title and a release date. Now, the release date for this is April 15th, 2022. Woo! All right. That is Easter weekend. And the title is Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. I think we all know what his secret is. Naughty. There was rumors that they were going to move all of these movies over to HBO Max, but obviously that is debunked now. These movies haven't done particularly well, but I think that's just due to the fact that, the first one I thought was pretty good, and the second one was not the best movie. I mean, they just haven't been good so far, and I think that's because of the writing. I think j.k.rowling, she did a great job with those Harry Potter books, and I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, if you can't tell behind me, but I think that these Fantastic Beasts movies are just, they're faltering because I think that she's trying to write a book with a movie. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Plus, I don't think that Newt Scamander was the best idea for a lead. I personally don't connect with this character or any of the main 4 that are in there. I just find them annoying. But I do love the wizarding world. I love being in this world. I love seeing the creatures and everything. I love the mythos of it all. It's just so great. And I think that J.K. Rowling, she's got these really great ideas when it comes to these movies. It's just she personally has a hard time translating them into the film portion of the program. Like, she can write a book, but a script, no. Now, I think that the exciting thing about this is that it's going to take place in Brazil. I'm quite excited about. I hope we get to see. I did a video on it. You can check it out up here, where I'll leave a link in the iCard section to all the videos I've done about this movie so far. But I think the Brazilian setting is going to be very exciting. I think Brazil is such a great country, especially to do something like this in. We get to see. I love seeing. First off, I want to see the Ministry of Magic there, because I think it's going to be great, and I really want to see their school. It's supposed to be in this Aztec temple. I just really think, and I want to see the creatures from Brazil. I love this world. It's so fascinating. So I think that part of it is what's enticing about this movie. But unfortunately, this movie has some problems right out the gate. Okay. Problem number 1 is J.K. Rowling herself. Now, she had made some what people like to think of transphobic comments, and whether or not you disagree or agree with her, or you don't think she did anything wrong, or you think she's a TERF, all that stuff, I do think that this is a problem. J.K. Rowling, I don't know why she said anything to start off with. That's the thing I don't understand about famous people. Like, you guys, ride that money train to the bank. Don't say stuff that might get you in trouble. I mean, but then again, like, some people don't say anything and they get in trouble anyways. But I think, when she made that comment, I was like, why did you make this comment? Like, nobody was looking for this. Where did this come from? It was so, I personally thought it was out of the blue, and I was just like, I don't understand it. And the second thing they have is firing Johnny Depp. I did not like this choice that they made, and it angered me personally. Like, I am not happy that they fired Johnny Depp. I don't care what's going on in your personal life. I don't believe in recasting. And I think that they have a problem with the fact that they fired Johnny Depp. Now, if they would have fired Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, I think that they wouldn't have the problems that they have. But they didn't fire Amber Heard, and they kept her on Aquaman 2. And that's going to hurt that movie. I'll tell you that right now. But as far as this movie goes, I think that first off, I like Johnny Depp, justice for Johnny. But I think that, I think that just getting rid of him and just, not hearing both sides of a story is problematic for them. Now let's get back to this movie as far as it goes. Now, j.k. like I said before, j.k. Rowling has had a problem with the movies as far as scripts goes, but thankfully they brought on Steve Knowles, Steve Kloves, who wrote the first or wrote all of the Harry Potter movies except for the Order of the Phoenix. So I think that was a good choice. I made a video about that right after Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. I did feel that bringing on another writer was the best choice. I think that like I said before, j.k. Rowling is just got a problem with writing scripts, So let's get back into the title of this, The Secrets of Dumbledore. So I think that this is a good title. I like this title, but I liked The Crimes of Grindelwald. I like that title too. I just think that if the secrets are that he's gay and he was gay with Grindelwald, the jig is up, buddy. We already knew that. So I mean, we as the audience know, but the characters of the Fantastic or the Wizarding World don't know that. But I'm all like, do the Wizarding World characters care? Like, I mean, I personally, if Dumbledore was like, I'm gay, I'm like, okay, can we go back to what we were doing? Like, okay. But I'm curious to see what other secrets he has. I'm curious also if this will play into what's his face is a Dumbledore, Okay, sorry, I rambled on there a little bit with that one, but okay, so that is my second story. I mean, my first story of the week. For my second story of the week, man. So Marvel, PR for Disney and Marvel has been the best, okay, but they're working their butts off because Marvel Studio is suing to hold on to keep control of the Avengers. It comes on the heels of the Scarlett Johansson suing Disney over Black Widow and the release of that. And now they're in a suit and that they don't want to be in. And I can understand they don't want any more headlines or like this one to get out and everything, but it has. And this is quite complicated, and it's a complicated situation going on here. And I mean, and they'll probably end up in a settlement of some kind, because that's most of the time that's what they do. So this, and I'm going to read this. Normally I don't just read off the article, I just break it down, but I really feel like this is an article that this comes from the Hollywood Reporter. And I feel like we need to read this so we can really get into the thick of it. So it says Disney's Marvel unit is suing to hold on to full control of Avengers characters, including Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon, Thor, and others. That is so many characters. The complaints, which the Hollywood Reporter has obtained, come against the heirs of some late comic book geniuses, including Stan Lee, Stephen Ditko, and Gene Colan. Is that how you say his last name? It doesn't matter. The suits seek declaratory relief that these blockbuster characters are eligible for copyright termination as works made for hire. If Marvel loses, Disney would have to share ownership of characters worth billions, which is insane. That's the thing. If this does come to fruition, and they have to share those, that is just money completely lost for them. It's just crazy. So it says in August, the administrator for Ditko's estate filed a notice of termination on Spider-Man, which first appeared in the comic book form in 1962. Under the termination provisions of copyright law, authors of their heirs can reclaim rights once granted to publishers after waiting a statutory set period of time. According to the termination notice, Marvel would have to give up Ditko's rights to its icon character in June 2023. Now that's crazy. Now they're being sued by the Steve Ditko estate, not Steve Ditko, because he is dead, I believe. Yeah, he's dead. And I mean, like, this whole thing is so convoluted, and I'm going to read just a little bit more of this article. But the Hollywood Reporter has done a really good job breaking it down, and because there's so many requirements for this, it's like crazy. And they really do a good job in breaking this down. So it says, Marvel is facing other termination notices. For example, Larry Lieber, who worked, which I believe that's Stanley's brother, who worked on Marvel, as a writer, to file termination notices over creations in May. The heirs to the comic book creators, including Black Widow creator Don Rico, are being represented by Mark Toberoff, who once famously represented Superman creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in an unsuccessful termination attempt against DC. So it looks like, so and real quick, when it comes to Warner Brothers and DC, they do pay some, like, I read online and heard online that Warner Brothers and DC is really is a lot better than Marvel at paying off certain creators. Like, if you create a character or like even a building and they use it in a movie, they will pay the creator, the person that came up with that building, and they'll give them a little bit of money, of a little bit of the what's the word I'm using? I didn't write it down in my notes. I should have wrote it down, but they'll pay them a little bit of the money that they get from the movie, so they can be like, hey, we pay our creators, because they came up with the thing. They don't do it for everybody, I don't think, but they do it for the bigger ones. Like, I read somewhere that the person that created the Jotunheim building that was in the Suicide Squad, I heard they got a tiny bit of money because they came up with that building. And I'm all like, that's insane. You're paying, they came up with a building called Jotunheim, which is not, they didn't make up that name. So they just made a little tower, So it looks like the two lawyers that were in that were involved in those DC character disputes are involved in this, and they do go over a lot of stuff in this article. For instance, that the whole Marvel method, like they'll come up with the initial ideas and discuss it and everything, and then the artists are tasked to take care of the details. And I think that all these lawsuits coming at them all at once, I think there will be some kind of settlement when you get down to it. But I do think that they're picking the good opportunity to do this. And I think that it's a smart time to do this. And it makes Marvel and DC and Disney look like the bad guys. And the worst case scenario is that Marvel has to share copyright with these people. And I feel like if they would do that, it would kind of almost be the death of the MCU, because that is a lot of money lost for Marvel Disney. I think that's so much money lost, because now they're not making that money, but they're having to give it to somebody else. So I think it'll be very interesting to see, like the Steve Ditko, he's doing Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and I don't know the other estates that are suing over which characters, but it's like all their Marvel characters, and I just go, man, that's gonna suck for them. I don't know how that'll be for us as the viewer, but it'll just suck for them. So that is my second story of the week. Sorry, that one was kind of long also. So for my third and final story this week, and this was the one I'm most excited for, Aquaman 2 is adding to its cast. They have cast Jani Zhao, Indya Moore, and Vincent Regan to the cast list. Now, Zhao will be playing Stingray, an original character created for the movie, and it is currently unclear where her allegiances will lie in the film. And then Zhao, she has a lot of credits in Portugal in the TV market. And this Aquaman movie will mark her first English language feature, the debut and everything. So that's great for her. Good for her. And she's got a great look. All these people, Vincent Regan, you've seen him before, but the two ladies in this, they've got great looks. I love, especially Indya Moore. She's got a great look. I've seen different pictures of her, and she just looks great in all of them. So speaking of Indya Moore, she will be portraying Karshan a character that originally appeared as a Green Lantern villain and originally a shark. So it's also, I think her character is called the Shark. I've seen this character before, but I haven't read about this character. I'm not going to sit here and try to act like I'm an expert on Karshan the Shark. I've seen action figures, and I've seen this character online before, but I don't read. I haven't read a comic book with him in it as of today. So, anyways, Karshan gained an intelligence and telepathic abilities after getting mixed up with some radiation, and then more. She is best known for her being cast in the show Pose on FX. And then she's also was in Queen and Slim and the latest Escape Room. And I think that was a Tournament of Champions. I wrote that down. I haven't seen Indya more in anything. I don't watch Pose. I have never seen Queen and Slim, and I didn't get a chance to watch that Escape Room movie yet. I'll probably wait till it comes out on PVOD and just buy it or rent it there or whatnot. But good for her. Like I said, I don't know how they'll do this with her character. It looks like because it's called the Lost Kingdom, and the kingdom I talked about in another video. I'll leave that up here with all the other stuff that I've talked about with this movie. But I think that they're going to be members of that Lost Kingdom, and I think it sounds interesting. I can't wait to see what they do. I hope that they're not humans. I hope that because one thing from Aquaman that I really wish they would have touched upon more was like you got the mer people, and then you got those crab people. What were they called? The crabby claw people, and then you got the trench, and they're humanoid creatures, but they're not human. They're fish or crabs or the trench, whatever they were. And I hope that these characters have a more like a humanoid, but a more mer person kind of look to them, in my opinion. I hope that's what goes down. If it doesn't, I'll survive. So now let's get to Vincent Regan. Who is he going to be playing? And he is cast as King Atland. Now, Atland is the ancient ruler of Atlantis who forced the kingdom to sink beneath the ocean. And the character was played by Graham McTavish in the brief appearance as him as a hologram in Aquaman 1. And then Regan, he has been in plenty of blockbuster movies. He was in 300, Snow White and the Huntsman, and then The Clash of Titans. And I do think that Graham McTavish and Vincent Regan have kind of a similar look to them, which is a great look. I think they're both, good looking. But I do think that all three of these cast members I think are good, and I can't wait to see them and what they look like. I think it's gonna, King Atland, I'm pretty sure that'll just be a flashback look at him. But I just really hope that I'm just so excited for this movie. I can't tell you, and I can't wait to see, what we're gonna see at DC Fandom, which comes out next month. I think it's next month. Yeah, next month. It should be really exciting. So that is my third and final story of the week. So tell me, what do you guys think about all this? How do you feel about Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore? Do you think that this movie has a lot of problems out the get-go? Do you think that it's going to be successful? Are you excited about the Brazilian setting? How do you feel about this title? How do you feel about the release date? All that good stuff. Are you a Potterhead like myself, or do you just not care? Are you like a normie and you're like whatever about it? How do you feel about Marvel suing to keep control of the copyright for all these characters? It's a lot of characters, yo. And it seems like they're just going to have an uphill battle from this point for a while, with all these lawsuits, and they're just getting attacked at every side. And a small piece of me feels like they kind of deserve it, but at the same time, I don't want these shows and movies to go away. So I don't know how I feel about it, but I do want artists to get paid. I just feel like if you come up with something, you should get paid for that. That's your baby, and they're stealing your baby. And then how do you feel about this casting for Aquaman 2? I know it's got a lot of problems with the whole Amber Heard situation, but I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go see this movie. I'm excited for this movie. Aquaman is my favorite character in the DC universe. He always has been. I've loved him since I was a kid. I just think he's such a great character, and I love Jason Momoa in the part. He's so freaking hot and everything. And I love all the characters in this movie so far. Everything that they've announced, it's just great. So tell me what you guys think about this. You can go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like subscribe button. You know, I won't mind if you're new to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Check out my merch store. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.